Today I made $10,000 within the first 20 minutes of the market open, and honestly it should have been a $20,000 day for me. And in this video I'm going to be discussing everything from the stocks I was watching, my entries, my exit, my risk, the amount of money I was risking in order to make $10,000. So let's get straight into it. Let's first take a look at the Discord group. So before the market opened at 8:46 a.m. EST, which is 4:46 p.m. my time, I mentioned that Tesla is giving squeeze vibes. Range is getting real tight here on the daily chart, but you just gotta let it come to you like all good things in life, because Tesla is not the stock like it used to be a year or 2 years ago. It was a good daily mover. You can trade that stock every single day. You guys will relate with me that these days Tesla, it moves once in like 1 or 2 weeks, but the day it moves, the risk to reward is amazing on that stock. You can risk basically 5 to 7% of the premiums and you can make like 50-100%, right? So you just have to wait for the right opportunity on that stock, and it's not a stock that you can trade every single day. You gotta watch this stock every single day, but you have to be very selective on the days you trade this stock. And my first trade was actually not on Tesla. My big winner right off the open, I made $5,000 in 5 minutes, was on Starbucks. And honestly, I was not even watching this stock. I don't watch Starbucks every single day, but one of our members, he mentioned that Starbucks with more than daily average volume in the pre-market itself, because they had a news that because of new CEO or something, the stock was gapping up. The options chain, the open interest for the 90 calls, if you guys trade options, the open interest was really high. So this stock caught my attention and I started watching it. And that is the beauty of having a Discord group or being part of a community of serious traders, because I can't watch every single stock, and I'm pretty sure I would have missed out on a really good trade on Starbucks. But because of the Discord group, because of the other members, I was able to find Starbucks and I caught a really good trade on the stock right off the open. So let's take a look at the trade on Starbucks and then on Tesla. Here's a daily chart of Starbucks, and you guys can see like it gapped up insanely, but look at this volume. This volume, we haven't seen a volume like this high in Starbucks maybe in forever. Like, I don't know. I have been looking at like since 2021, this is the highest volume by a huge margin. It has already done more than 100 million shares. We still have a few hours to go to the market close. But yeah, insane volume on this stock. And when a stock is gapping up with such a high volume, then the technicals are not as important as the momentum based on the tape and the intraday price action, right? Because it's not like, yes, it's holding $89 level, enter your position. No, because it's a huge gap up with very, very high volume. So the technicals on this stock, on the daily chart, the levels are less important compared to the momentum based on the tape people are buying or selling on the 1 and the 5 minutes chart. So let's take a look at the pre-market action on this stock, and I'm going to show you guys my entries and exits. In the pre-market, you guys can see insane volume. Like, looks like the market is open actually. We had nice bull flag, push towards the upside, flag, push towards the upside, flag, push towards the upside, right? Off the open, my rule is that if a stock is gapping up insanely with some sort of news catalyst, I won't trade that stock for the first 1 minute. And that's what I did, especially because you need to give, if you trade options, you need to give the option chain, option premiums a bit more time to settle down and the spreads to tighten up. At 9:31 a.m. on the next minute, when we reclaimed back above $91 level right here, so I saw that, okay, we closed like a doji. We broke the first minute low, but that was quickly bought back up and the tape was full of green. So that means all the big orders are trying to hit the ask price. People are eager to enter this position to buy this stock. So that's when I entered my position. I entered like 100 contracts. I entered 95 calls. My fill price was around 1.2 average. On the next minute itself, the premiums went from 1.2 to 1.6. I took 50 contracts out. And then the rest of the position, I took profits at $93.5 level. I was left with like 10 contracts. And when it made a new 1 minute low, I covered my position. Even though it looks like a small move, but the ATR of this stock is $3. That means on an average, on a daily basis, it moves $3. And I entered my position around 91. I caught a move towards 93.5. That is the ATR of this stock. And that's why I was happy catching a trade from 91 to 93.5. I can't expect this stock to go to like $100. That means if I expect this stock to go to $100 from $90, I'm expecting this stock to move 5 times the ATR after a gap up, after an insane gap up on the daily chart, which can happen. Stock market has a way of surprising you, but statistically, I can't expect that this stock to go to $100. So my whole point was that if I catch 1 to 2 points move on this stock, I'm going to lock in my profits, and that's what I did. Overall, I made approximately $5,500 on this trade. After that Starbucks trade, I was honestly thinking of calling it for the day. You guys can see after the first 5 minutes, I posted a screenshot in the Discord group. I was up $5,600 for the day. Out of that, like $4,700 $200 on Starbucks, 942 on Meta. I'm going to get to that Meta trade towards the end of this video because that is the trade I should have made $10,000 on, but I exited a bit too early on that trade. But yeah, I was done for the day, but I was like, then Tesla started moving. I mentioned that Tesla looks nice at 5:38 p.m., which is 9:38 a.m. EST. You guys can look like Tesla was holding near 199.5-ish. Watching it, ready to risk a bit of profit. In Tesla, small size, you guys can see I mentioned everything, where I entered, where I exited, my profit target, I'm holding my position, everything I mentioned in the Discord group. If you guys want to join our Discord group, the link will be in the description box below. Just a disclaimer that we will be raising the prices of our Discord group towards the end of this week. But if you join now, you will be logged in at the current price because the new price, the hike in price won't affect the existing and the current members. So the link will be in the description box below. Now here's a one-day chart of Tesla. You guys can see that the range is getting real tight on the stock, which I mentioned in the Discord group. And this is a good technical breakout compared to Starbucks. On Starbucks, you have to go based on the momentum on the 1 minute and the tape. On Tesla, we had a clear technical level that if it gets above 199-200 zone, the yesterday's high was 199.26. 2 days ago high was 200.88. 3 days ago high was 200.70. The open on this day was 200.77. You guys can see a lot of levels are stacked between 199 to 201. So if we get a breakout, we might see a push towards 205, and that was my ultimate profit target. So pretty straightforward play on the daily chart, making a triangle, looking for a breakout towards the upside. Now here's a 1 minute chart I mentioned in the Discord group at 9:38 a.m. because you guys can see an increase in volume. Look at these two candles. This candle had higher volume compared to the opening candle as well. This is like really high. That's what caught my interest at 9:38 a.m. I mentioned in the Discord group. I saw this one red candle on low volume. So around $200 level, I entered my position at 9:40 a.m. I entered 50 contracts, I think 205 calls, but my plan was to add 50 more contracts to my position to build up a position of around like $20,000 to $25,000 if I see a good entry. My plan was that if we get above 201 or maybe above 203, I want to look for a hold of a level to add to my position. But once it started rallying towards the upside, I never got a chance to enter my position because to add to my position, I want a good entry as well so that my average fill price is not very skewed towards the higher end. I want the average fill price to be good. So I want to enter on the break and retest or maybe on a pullback. But you guys can see after the break of 201, we never saw a pullback. The pullback we saw was after the break of 203. I wanted to see a pullback before the break of 203 to catch the break of 203 or before the break of 201. That did not happen, which is okay. I was still in like 50 contracts. I caught this push towards the upside. I took majority of my position out right here at the top. Then I was just left with like 5 contracts and I exited those remaining 5 contracts when it broke above 205, which was my ultimate profit target. And overall on this trade, I made another $5,300, something like that. Now I'm going to show you guys my P&L and how I messed up on my first trade on Meta. Here's a screenshot of my Meta trade. It was looking really good on the daily chart. You guys can see I entered my position at 3.10. I exited at 3.30. I had no reason to exit this position. The premiums went all the way to $5. So this was a potential 10K trade for me. But again, like I exited this trade because I was like, Starbucks looks really good. So I exited this position. I entered Starbucks. So I made like $5,000 on Starbucks. But I should have done a better job managing this position because this was a good daily level breakout. The premiums went from $3 to $5. It was a really good trade, really good entry, but really bad exit. And now let's take a look at my P&L. Here's my P&L for the day, including my entries and exits. I don't think so. A lot of traders, they show their actual order window, their entries and exits. I even posted that on my Instagram. The link will be in the description box below. Because yes, you can make $11,000 by shitty trading. You can risk $20,000 to make $10,000, or you can risk like $2,000 to make $10,000. So looking at the order window, the actual entries and exits is really important because you can make $10,000 by shitty trading or by good trading. So my Meta trade was really bad. My risk on this trade was around $1,000. This should have been a $10,000 trade as I mentioned, but I exited way too early. I made $1,000. So 1 hour, I would say. The second trade on Starbucks, the risk was a bit high because it's a bit like spready stock. I entered 100 contracts. My risk was approximately $1,500 because the position sizing was around $12,000 and I made $4,700 on that stock. So approximately 3-hour trade on Starbucks. The best risk to reward trade was on Tesla, as I mentioned, because the day it starts moving, the risk to reward is amazing. I entered 50 contracts at a fill price of 2.38. At my stop loss, the break under and hold under 200, I would have most likely worst case scenario exited at 2.2. So my risk was less than $1,000 on 50 contracts, and I made $5,200, which is a more than 5-hour trade. So the best trade was Tesla, then Starbucks, and Meta was a good trade, but I just exited way too early. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about my risk to reward and my trading overall. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I already posted about this day on my Instagram as well. The link will be in the description box below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, like this video because it helps out the channel a lot, and I will see you guys in the next one.